There we go.
Hare Krishna, Vishnugada Prabhu.
X168, yes.
শ্রীবাসাদি যত প্রভুর বিপ্র ভক্তগণ প্রভুকে ভিক্ষা দিতে হইল সবাকার মন।
Since Advaita Acharya was giving alms and food to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the other devotees, headed by Srivas Thakur, also desired to give him alms and invite him for lunch. Purport: it is the duty of all grihastas to invite a sannyasi into their homes if he happens to be in the neighborhood or village. This very system is still current in India. If a sannyasi is in the neighborhood of a village, he is invited by all householders, one after another. As long as a sannyasi remains in the village, he enlightens the inhabitants in spiritual understanding. In other words, a sannyasi has no housing or food problems, even when he travels extensively. Even though Advaita Acharya was supplying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with prasadam, the other devotees from Navadvip and Shantipur also desired to offer him prasadam. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitang Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Shapandantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Before speaking, I'd like to ask the permission and blessings from all devotees, especially those who are senior by age or advancement in Krishna consciousness or advancement in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So the devotees from Navadvip and Shantipur who were gathered there had come to see Lord Chaitanya at Advaita Acharya's house. Everyone was clamoring to invite Lord Chaitanya to their homes or to their place of where they're dwelling, because some of them had traveled from Navadvip, in order to offer him meals. And here it says lunch. Mostly in those times, the main meal was lunch. So this reminds me of Srila Prabhupada would comment when he was growing up with his father in Calcutta, was it?
Yes.
Calcutta. Every day, without fail, there would be 5 to 6 guests in the home that his father would give prasadam to in his that was his regular practice. This is one of the regulations for the grihastas to help, because the tendency is when we increase our possessions and our bank balance and so many things to become self-centered about that. So not only one way to reduce that self-centeredness is to give in charity and to offer in charity to others, and particularly important is those who are spiritually advanced, because at that point then there's also the opportunity to hear and be reminded of one's purpose of life was to advance in Krishna consciousness, to remember Krishna, and ultimately to solve the problems of life, the main problems being death, old age, and disease, and then rebirth. So that opportunity is given for the householders to do that. And even if it's not lunch, it could also be dinner. And sometimes if one can't doesn't have the means or the availability because they travel here and there, it could be done by sponsoring prasadam for the devotees here or there, or for a Rath Yatra ceremony or for other things. But the same principle is there, that in order to purify one's existence, that one offer to the saintly persons and to Krishna all regularly one's foodstuff. Therefore, Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati taraham bhakti prafritam ashnami prayatatmana. If you offer me a leaf, fruit, flower, or water, I will accept. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take food in the houses of devotees, but not non-devotees. Even when he was preaching to the sannyasis in Benares, Kashi, then he only took food in there. After the food, he made sure that the food was offered first. After he converted them to Krishna consciousness, then they offered their food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the deity form, and then he accepted prasadam at their homes, at their place. So, interesting points. What do you think? Comments, questions, observations, reflections? Mother Sundari.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I don't think I have anything to offer here other than cooking is certainly not my forte, and I'm not sure sannyasis would want to. Although I do remember when I lived in San Diego, I used to make granola for the sannyasis who were traveling. They would take it with them. That's
Yes.
about the only thing that is
Well, that's an interesting
comfortable
point.
enough offer.
So somehow or other doing this, somehow or other provide some prasadam for the sannyasis and those who are spiritually advanced. We remember that Shukadev Goswami, he was living as a complete renunciant, but he would go to the householder's home and just get a little milk at the time of the milking of the cow. You know, usually the cows are milked twice a day, morning and evening.
Mhm.
So he would go particularly at the houses. And so he wasn't getting an elaborate feast or anything, but just a little milk he was getting. But also, at the same time, enlightening those householders or family people in Krishna consciousness.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
শুনি শচী সবাকারে করিল মিনতি, নিমায়ের দর্শন আর মুই পাব কতি।
Hearing these proposals made by other devotees of the Lord, Mother Sachi said to the devotees, how many times shall I get the chance to see Nimai again?
তোমা সবার সনে হবে অন্যত্র মিলন, মুই অভাগিনীর মাত্র এই দর্শন।
Sachi Mata submitted, as far as you are concerned, you can meet Nimai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many times somewhere else. But what is the possibility of my ever meeting him again? I shall have to remain at home. A sannyasi never returns to his home.
যাবৎ আচার্য গৃহে নিমাইয়ের অবস্থান, মুই ভিক্ষা দিমু সবাকারে মাগো দান।
Mother Sachi appealed to all the devotees to give her this charity. As long as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what's that? Remained at the house of Advaita Acharya, only she would supply him food.
শুনি ভক্তগণ কহে করি নমস্কার, মাতার যে ইচ্ছা সেই সম্মত সবার।
Hearing this appeal from Mother Sachi, all the devotees offered obeisances and said, we all agree to whatever Mother Sachi desires.
মাতার ব্যগ্রতা দেখি প্রভুর ব্যগ্র মন, ভক্তগণ একত্র করি বলিলা বচন।
When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw his mother's great eagerness, he became a little agitated. He therefore assembled all the devotees present and spoke to them.
তোমার সবার আজ্ঞা বিনা চলিলাম বৃন্দাবন, যাইতে নারিল বিঘ্ন কইল নিবর্তন।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed them all, "Without your order, I tried to go to Vrindavan. There was some obstacle, however, and I had to return."
যদ্যপি সহসা আমি করিয়াছি সন্ন্যাস, তথাপি তোমা সভা হইতে নহিব উদাস।
My dear friends, although I have suddenly accepted this renounced order, I still know that I shall never be indifferent to you.
তোমার সব না ছাড়িব যাবৎ আমি জীব, মাতারে তাবৎ আমি ছাড়িতে নারী।
My dear friends, as long as I remain manifest, I shall never give you up, nor shall I be able to give up my mother.
সন্ন্যাসীর ধর্ম নহে সন্ন্যাস করিয়া, নিজ জন্মস্থানে রহে কুটুম্ব লয়া।
After accepting sannyas, it is not the duty of a sannyasi to remain at his birthplace encircled by relatives.
কেহ যেন এই বলি না করে নিন্দন, সেই যুক্তি কহ যাতে রহে দুই ধর্ম।
Make some arrangement so that I may not leave you, and at the same time, people may not blame me for remaining with relatives after taking sannyas.
শুনিয়া প্রভুর এই মধুর বচন, শচীপাশ আচার্যাদি করিল গমন।
After hearing Lord Chaitanya's statement, all the devotees headed by Advaita Acharya approached Mother Shachi.
প্রভুর নিবেদন তারে সকল কহিল, শুনি শচী জগন্মাতা কহিতে লাগিল।
When they submitted Lord Chaitanya's statement, Mother Shachi, who is the mother of the universe, began to speak.
তেহ যদি ইহা রহে তবে মোর সুখ, তার নিন্দা হয় যদি সেই মোর দুঃখ।
Sachi Mata said, "It will be a great happiness for me if Nimai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, stays here. But at the same time, if someone blames him, it will be my great unhappiness." Report. It is a great happiness for a mother if her son does not leave home to search out Krishna, but remains with her. At the same time, if a son does not search after Krishna, but simply remains at home, he is certainly blamed by experienced saintly persons. Such blame certainly causes great unhappiness for a mother. If a real mother wants her son to progress spiritually, she had better allow him to go out searching for Krishna. The mother naturally desires the welfare of the son. If a mother does not allow her son to search for Krishna, she is called Ma, which indicates Maya. By allowing her son to go as a sannyasi and search for Krishna, Sachi Mata instructs all mothers of the world. She indicates that all sons should become real devotees of Krishna and should not stay at home under the care of an affectionate mother. This is supported by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.18. Gurur nasasyat svajana nasasyat pita nasasyat janani nasasyat Daivam natatsyan napatischa sasyan namocha yadya sumupete mrityum. No one should become a spiritual master, nor a relative, father, mother, worshipable deity, or husband, if he cannot help a person escape the imminent path of death. Every living entity is wandering within the universe, subjected to the law of karma, and transmigrating from one body to another and from one planet to another. Therefore, the whole Vedic process is meant to save the wandering living entities from the clutches of Maya, birth, death, disease, and old age. This means stopping the cycle of birth and death. This cycle can be stopped only if one worships Krishna. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 4:9, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvata tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mam eti sarjana. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. To stop the cycle of birth and death, one has to understand Krishna as he is. Simply by knowing Krishna, one can stop the process of rebirth into this material world. By acting in Krishna consciousness, one can return to Godhead. The highest perfection of life is for a father, mother, spiritual master, husband, or any other family member to help others return home back to Godhead. That is the most preferred welfare activity for the benefit of relatives. Therefore, Sachi Mata, although the mother of Nimai Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, considered all the facts and decided to allow her son to go out and search for Krishna. At the same time, she made arrangements in order that she might get news of all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. So this is a very heart-rending part of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, or Mother Sachi, called by Chandrasekharacharya, is brought to Shantipur to see Nimai Pandit, her son, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he has taken sannyas, for the first time after taking sannyas. And this is just after he's taken his first meals after taking sannyas. So there's a heart-wrenching episode where Lord Chaitanya repeatedly offers his dandavats to Mother Sachi. She takes him on his lap. And then there's some discussion how she wants to cook for him and nobody else for the duration of his stay at Advaitacharya's house, because she won't have much chance to do so in the future, or any chance to do so in the future. So why is it that Mother Sachi can't just go visit Lord Chaitanya at when he goes to Puri? It's a question I'm asking you.
For the same reason, I mean, she can go visit him as anybody would go visit a sannyasi to get instructions, get blessings, but not as a mother. And the reason why he's not staying at home, a sannyasi shouldn't stay at home and maintain relationships with his family. For that same reason, she shouldn't go there and distract him.
Okay, so you're saying that they shouldn't maintain relationships with their family. But Lord Chaitanya says that he can never be indifferent or give up his mother and his friends from Navadvip. What about that?
You can never give up your mother, um, but not maintain daily contact.
Okay,
He
so
will
it's a
always
little
be
bit
his
different.
mother. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it's not that he gave up his relationship with his mother, Mother Sachi,
Yes.
but okay, yeah. So then why didn't she just go to I mean, she's traveling from Navadvip or Mayapur to Shantipur to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why doesn't she also, I mean, devotees were going from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri for the Rath Yatra every year. So how come she didn't go?
To help her son.
Explain more, say more.
I think let's say, thank you for asking these things. This whole purport and conversation is really educational. Yeah, one is emotional attachment and bodily attachment. The other one is more than that, is spiritual attachment. So one has to use intelligence and act on the platform of spirituality, because understanding the nature of body is temporary. Even though it feels rude to give up, but one has to work on the attachment is there. One has to work on the platform of the spirituality and do all these things needed. As a son, I was thinking, she is mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She also left with only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and no one else. Husband died,
Yes.
oldest son, Vishwarup, he left, he's not there. And only attachment was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a son. And that also was taken away from her. So yeah, but still, yet, she's using, she has her emotions, feelings, but more than that, she's thinking the well-being of her child, that following the ashram rules is more important than her attachment. So if she goes there, and definitely because devotees live for 4 months there, and if there'll be disturbance, will be there, and social disturbance can be considered. So for her, for his good, she avoided. That's what I think.
Thank you. Did she ever see, I mean, directly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again?
Yeah, that I don't know. The Chaitanya Bhagavat, I think mentioned only this time. Did she see? Yeah, I think that's what I remember.
What do you remember?
No, this is the last one.
Well, actually, you'll see that in the coming verses, you'll find Lord Chaitanya will say that he'll come periodically to visit Navadvip and see. Well, his reasons for coming to Navadvip will be two. One, to take bath, excuse me, in the Ganges, and the other reason, he'll say, is to visit Mother Sachi. So when he made his next attempt to go to Vrindavan, he went through Bengal. And on his way through Bengal, he met devotees from Navadvip also, and he stopped at Advaitacharya's house. And who came to see him then?
Sachi,
Mother Sachi, yeah. So he did meet her again at that time. Also, we find that on a transcendental level, Lord Chaitanya said that he always, every day, visited his mother. You know that? She would offer foodstuff to the deities, and he would eat it.
Yeah.
And then she would say, "Oh, I forgot. I've just been kind of absent-minded. I thought maybe I forgot." So she would offer again like that. So he would take the prasadam. So even though she didn't realize it fully, but he said that. So yeah,
Right.
that was the condition. So in ISKCON, Hare Krishna sannyasis, do they do they visit their mothers?
I think so. At the beginning, maybe a little hard. They may not. They took very hard stop. But I've seen sannyasis taking care, meeting the parents and taking care of them, because Krishna explains the real meaning of sannyas later. So.
Oh yeah, the meeting of the mother is not forbidden for a sannyasi. Of course not. Here we see the mother's Lord Chaitanya's meeting Mother Sachi. Meeting or having close relationship with the wife is not allowed for sannyas, but mother, sister, those children. Did Srila Prabhupada interact with his children after sannyas?
He did.
Yes, yeah. In fact, in the first version of the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, the statement about when Srila Prabhupada left India on the Jaladuta from, I think it was Calcutta Harbor. Diamond Harbor, is it called? Diamond Harbor?
Diamond Harbour.
Yeah. So certain people were there, some people that he had just met. And the first edition said that no family members were there. But Srila Prabhupada's surviving son, Vrindavan Chandra Day, read that and he said, wait a minute, I was there. I was there when Srila Prabhupada left for the United States. And if you examine Srila Prabhupada's notebook, he had a diary on his travels, just before he left India, and also on his way to the United States on the Jaladuta. You'll find he says there, although the writing is not real clear, but he mentions that Vrindavan Chandra Day was there to bid him farewell on his excursion to United States. So it's not, those things aren't forbidden, no, but the involvement in family relationships will be a bit less, somewhat less, but not forbidden. Except the only thing that's strongly restricted is the relationship with the wife from before. During Vanaprast, the husband and wife travel together and engage in spiritual activities together, but sannyas is the next stage. So that's not allowed. Does that make sense? Interesting point also is that Srila Prabhupada had a fund called the Mayapur Vrindavan Trust. You know this Mayapur Vrindavan Trust? And out of that, that was mostly from Guru Dakshin people would give him. And so he didn't keep that in his own bank account, but he put it in a trust, the Mayapur Vrindavan Trust, that was used to build there's a guest house behind the Vrindavan temple. But out of that Mayapur Vrindavan Trust, he arranged to give Lakshmi money to his sons, his family members, even though he's a sannyasi. This is an interesting point. Which I don't know. Anyway, so another point here is that you look at this verse, Guru Nasasyat, Svajano Nasasyat. Guru is Guru, spiritual teacher. Svajano, Svajana, your own people. That's your relatives. Pita, father, Janani, mom, Daivim. Daiva means deity. So nobody should become a worshipable deity or husband, patis, without being able to deliver their dependents help them deliver them from death, repeated birth and death. So I was thinking about that. I mean, it's a big responsibility. Not that the dependents will be necessarily delivered, but at least the strong effort is there, and one has the ability to do that if one if they accept one's instructions and example. Of course, of the two things, instruction and example is especially powerful. But in the case even of Advaita Charya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. He had 6 sons. 3 sons were great devotees, Achyutananda and others, Krishna Mishra, and 3 sons were Mayavadis. Although he had certainly the ability to deliver the whole universe, 3 of his sons didn't make it, or at least not initially. So that's an interesting point. But one should be prepared to make the effort to deliver one's relatives from the repeated cycle of birth and death by encouraging them to take to Krishna consciousness, offer food to Krishna, vegetarian food to Krishna, and chant the holy names of Krishna as much as possible. And then the idea of nobody should become a worshipable deity. Has anybody here planned on becoming a worshipable deity? Mother Vindyavali, was that you? Okay. What do you make of that? Anybody?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother Sundari.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I was just thinking of, I believe it's Indrajumna Swami in our movement who not so long ago initiated his son.
Yeah.
His son is, I remember his son from San Diego, Goravani.
Okay.
I believe was his name. And he was about 12 years old when I was there. And Indrajumna Swami took sannyas at a fairly young age while Gora was still quite young. And he followed his father's wanderings throughout the world and became very attached to him, and then eventually took initiation from him. Also, his previous wife, I remember how.
We can't hear you. You may have gone away from the microphone.
Right here. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
His wife very much worshipped him as her Gurudev as well. She had a picture of him on her altar, and I remember how she was kind of mourning when he took sannyas. It was very difficult for her for a couple of years, the separation. But she did see him as her Gurudev. And so I guess if you're the wife and you see your husband as Gurudev, then in a way he's also your worshipable deity, correct?
Okay. So they were kind of they're not mutually exclusive, the guru and the daivam. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys. Okay. So that way he became a daivam. Anyone else? Krishna Kirtan, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you. Everyone has in Vedic culture has their worshipable deities called what do you call it? Devi, Kul Devi, Kul Devi, Kul Devata. I think for them also, what I understand is responsible for helping them in delivering the
Okay. The worshipable deity of whether it be Santoshima or something. Yeah. Okay.
No, of course, I'm not Santoshima, Kul Devata and Kul Devi.
Oh, Kuldev, Santoshima is one of the Kuldevis.
You see, I don't know.
Yes. In Gujarat especially.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking also along the different line, and I don't know if this applies, but I always look when we have a Rath Yatra in Philadelphia in front of the Art Museum. There's always a long line of people offering prayers and respect and to a statue there of Rocky. Anytime you drive by there, there's a bunch of people offering their respect. And so in a sense, Rocky or that Sylvester Stallone has become some kind of worshipable deity, and different people in the sports world or the entertainment world or the political world, they also kind of take the position of being supreme in their own small area. So that person, uh, those people also are directed in this verse to not misdirect people, but to help them make progress in their path back to Godhead. Acharya Prabhu, I didn't see you there. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Just one story Prabhupada told that during World War II, there was one man who made big profits on the black market during World War II because everything
Yes.
short supply, so he was able to so he was so grateful to Hitler that he started doing Hitler puja in gratitude for all the money he made on the black market.
Yes, yes. So he was worshiping him like a daivam, right? Although he probably didn't. I doubt very seriously whether he got progress back to Godhead in that way.
Probably not.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And one other concern or aspect of this pastime here of Lord Chaitanya meeting his mother after taking sannyas is, there are many devotees that came from Mayapur, Navadvip to meet Lord Chaitanya. And some of them were, there was Srivas Thakur was there, Gadadhar Pandit was there, Nityananda Prabhu was there. So they were these are members of the Panchatattva, not just ordinary level devotees, but they all gave deference to Mother Sachi. Isn't that interesting? Because they wait a minute, why should she? And is it because she was the mother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or was it because she was the senior devotee there, or a combination of those aspects? What would you say? You follow the question? No, yes, no,
Yes.
maybe so. When Mother Sachi says, "Hey, I'm gonna cook. Nobody else is cooking here. I'm cooking," and then they could have said, "Well, wait a minute. I want to cook too." Wait. They didn't say that. They said, "Yes, whatever you say, Mom, ma, whatever you say." And uh, it could be taken that was because she was the senior there, or it could be taken that because she's the senior, or the mother, or it could be taken both ways. You follow? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just
And
thinking.
senior in devotion as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So, for example, when Vidura was questioning, had these questions about Krishna consciousness, and he was questioning, there was Maitreya and Uddhava both there. And Uddhava, he was asking Uddhava, but Uddhava said, no, Maitreya is here, he's senior, he should answer. Even though Uddhava was much more highly advanced from the spiritual platform than Maitreya, but still, because of the age seniority that he was given, Maitreya was given the important position of speaking and responding to Uddhava's questions. Makes sense? And so then there's a discussion about how, in the purport, about how one should be respectful to the senior, in this case, Mother Sachi. I found another a very interesting point. There's these books called the memory books, that Srila Prabhupada memories, and there was an incident I thought it would be kind of interesting to read. This is from Pradyumna, who was Srila Prabhupada's Sanskrit secretary for most of his time. So Pradyumna, I was with Prabhupada many times when he met some of his godbrothers. He treated them very respectfully. The etiquette is that you're supposed to treat the godbrothers of the Guru in the same way as you treat the Guru. And you're supposed to treat your senior godbrothers, those initiated before you, in a particular way as well. That is Vaishnava etiquette. In the Gaudiya Mat, there's generally an emphasis on senior godbrothers, and Prabhupada also observed this. One time in Montreal, an Indian scholar came to see Prabhupada. Janardhan and I were there, and I was eager to hear from Prabhupada. I edged forward to get a little closer because I wanted to catch every word that Srila Prabhupada said, and I was just a little bit ahead of Janardhan. Janardhan was not only older in age, but he also had been initiated before me. He was initiated at the first initiation Prabhupada did in New York. Srila Prabhupada immediately said, no, he is your elder brother. You should not go in front of him. I was ahead of him, a little closer to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, no, you should move back. He is senior to you, a senior godbrother. That is etiquette. Just like my godbrother, Tirtha Maharaj, we used to call him Kunjada. Actually, his name was Kunjabihari Das, but everyone called him Kunjada. Da means, what is that?
Older brother.
Older brother, yeah, the older brother, or like an uncle. Everyone called him Kunjada because he was one of the most senior godbrothers. Similarly, Janardhan is your Da. He is your older brother, so you should give him that respect. You should not go in front of him. That was in 1967. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So that applies here with Mother Sachi. And would it apply just not only with senior god brothers but senior god sisters as well, you think? What do you think?
Yes.
You would think so. Okay, so Mother Sachi in her, yeah. I thought those are interesting points. Other observations or comments here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I was also thinking that when one has such a deep affection for the Lord, as others did.
You're breaking up somehow.
Yeah, I don't know why. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to speak so closely to I'm like right on the computer screen. When one has such affection for the Lord, as Lord Chaitanya's followers did, then naturally that affection, deep affection, would extend to his mother. Just as we see in the temple, you have affection for one member of the family, then usually that affection extends toward other members of the family. So I'm just imagining not only was Mother Sachi senior in her devotion and the mother of Lord Chaitanya, but she was adored by those who adored Lord Chaitanya. And just like naturally, the saying that you love me, you love my dog. Sorry, to forgive the comparison, but it's just natural for that affection to go to the relatives of someone that you deeply love. And I was also thinking that Mother Sachi was, or Sachi, if it's more Sachi rather than Sachi, I get confused on that, that she probably was so grateful to Lord Chaitanya for making this arrangement for her to see him while staying at Advaitacharya's home, that she wouldn't even think of asking for another arrangement. Could I also see you in Puri? Could I also see you here? Could I also see you there? She would be just so grateful for that connection, and out of respect for her son who had made this arrangement, just be very obedient to that arrangement.
Thank you. Nice point. Good point of. So you said to love me, love my associate.
Sorry.
That came up. That comes up several times with Lord Chaitanya for example, when he delivered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, there was a question about why was he giving mercy to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? And Lord Chaitanya's answer was, because you're associated with Gopinath Acharya. He's the brother-in-law. So the mercy flowed to the brother-in-law, such as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, because of Gopinath Acharya. So that point, good point. Thank you. And that's very interesting. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Other comments? No?
So it is very important. It's not how big devotee, how much you do. Vaishnava etiquette, one should be very conscious about in one's etiquette for our spiritual journey, because it can be a lot of risk in our
What do you mean by risk?
risk. Because when you do aparadh, then one can fall down. Yeah, and our activities will be an obstacle in our deliverance or Krishna prema. So
all the devotees here, they were very happy that to allow Mother Sachi to cook for Lord Chaitanya, even though they were ready to cook. They were ready, they're very anxious to cook, but they said, no, Mother Sachi, you take, please. No. We're not going to meddle with that, because she was asking, and she was the senior, and she was the most adored by Lord Chaitanya, or so close to Lord Chaitanya. You would agree?
yeah, I mean, that's the Vaishnava society. It's a culture of respect and conscious living entities here. And by hearing that, we are learning also how to act. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I have a point.
Yes.
Even if you are not formally following a Vaishnav culture or a Shaiv culture or whatever it is, I, from my own personal experience, I can say that I've been brought up with this idea of respecting elders, having a certain etiquette for elders, seniors in the family or friends or whoever. So, what to speak of when you're a Vaishnava? Or, when you are kind of following this path religiously, and you are trying to make sure that you are on the right path to become a pure devotee, then all the more it becomes important that we understand these things, because it's not just about, worshipping, or again, I think I've spoken a similar thing earlier as well. It's not just about, your rounds, your jap, your worshipping the deities. It's all this together these are the things that will help you achieve what you're working on.
Yes, thank you. So you made a good point that this aspect is there traditionally in Vedic culture.
Yes.
So, they say, Puja Pitaji, Puja Pita, your respectable father, worshipable father, and like that. And and because it's conducive to spiritual development. And part of the difficulty in the Mahabharata with the whole way things worked out is that Yudhishthira was just naturally, he was giving his full respect to Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra cheated him. And that was just like mind-blowing, because you don't expect that. Of course, that was the very end of Dwapara Yuga and beginning of Kali Yuga, but now that happens. But still, he maintained that respectful attitude even after Dhritarashtra tried to kill him and his brothers and his mother. It's very interesting. So what to speak, as you mentioned, as you pointed out, what to speak of someone who's making progress, at least apparently making progress in the spiritual level, how much more we should be a little bit careful about that. Yeah. Good point. Thank you. The verse is there in the Bhagavad Gita. You might know this verse. It goes, Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Sacha Marjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Shariram Tapu Uchyate. Deva means God. Dvija, the Brahmins. Guru, the Guru. Pragya, the seniors. Pujanam Saucham Arjavam. They should be respected. Pujanam means give respect. Pujanam. Saucham, and then cleanliness. Arjavam, honesty. Brahmacharyam. Brahmacharya means celibacy. Ahimsa, non-violence. These are the austerities of the physical body. Usually, you know better than me. I didn't do this when I was growing up, but often you correct me, those who were coming from an Indian Vedic background, that in the morning time you go and touch the feet of the father and mother, isn't it? Did you do that? I don't know. I didn't do that. I'm sure I didn't do that. Mother Sundari, did you do that?
I did not, although we always included relatives whenever.
You're breaking up again. Sorry.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We would always include elder relatives when we would go to the lake for the summer. They would always be invited. And so oftentimes we would have a very extended family there at the lake. And I remember sometimes feeling like, well, none of my friends invite their great uncles and aunts, but we do. So this is different. And now I know that Rohini and Sunil do touch the feet of his parents, my daughter and her husband, when his parents come from Rajasthan to visit, or when they go there to visit, they do touch the feet of his parents. It's kind of expected.
That's tradition. Yeah, that's the vestiges. Even in your old family, those vestiges of that type of respect were there because of the seniors or the elders in your family. You would try to include them as much as possible, or somebody would.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was expected.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we can end here if there's unless there's any other questions. I wanted to because Mother Kavita is going to India, isn't it?
Yes.
So I would like to thank you, for being such a diligent chanter of these verses. It's exciting and wonderful to hear that pure Bengali sound. And thank you so much for your diligence and your service in doing that So how long will you be gone?
3 months. I'll be back in mid-February.
Okay. Oh, that's too long.
Wow, 3 months. Oh.
We will miss you.
Yes, I'll miss you. I'll miss everyone as well.
Have a safe trip. We wish you all the best there.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will your daughter be joining you there at all, or your husband?
Yes, she will be there for 3 weeks. She'll follow me and then be there for 3 weeks and she'll come back.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namo Namah.
Thank you.